Hello and welcome, it's Drukhari time. I haven't seen this one or the next one, though I know what faction it is. I'm very excited. Let's take a look. I don't know all that much Raiders from the Dark City. I don't know all that much about the Dark Eldar from Kamarach, but I think they're cool. I have Cabalite Warrior right here, a Pendium kill team. It's probably not going to be very good, you know. I like them. They're cool. Yeah, I really want to see the ones that are the Eldar Exodites. That would be really great. I'd love to see some dinosaurs in 4K. That's all I'm saying. What does it bring me to if I say? Okay, the Exodite show. Yeah. What are we gonna get some next time? Oh, that's all. They look cool. Little Esperex there. I played Drukhari a lot in the combat cards, but you know, I don't play a lot of Drukhari in 40K. But that could change. Let's see how the rules work. So the armor rules power from pain, which makes a lot of sense. Okay. Army with the ability can become empowered through pain. This is done using pain tokens. Gain pain tokens. You automatically start with some. 500 point game is 1. 2,000 point game is 4. Each time an enemy unit is destroyed, you gain a pain token. Each time an enemy unit fails a battle shock test, you get a pain token. That's cool. That makes sense. I would like to see a rule like that on like Night Lords. You know, that would have been really cool. Up the cache of pain tokens each Drukhari army starts with. You earn more for doing the things above. Yeah. Mind-breaking massacres, murdering. So yeah, this is specifically each time an enemy unit, not your units. It's cool. I like that. That's interesting. Then they have empowered through pain. At the start of any phase, you can expend 1 or more pain tokens from the pain token pool. Each time you do, select 1 unit from your army with a power from pain ability. Till the end of the phase, that unit is empowered and gains the abilities listed below depending on the phase. Powered in the movement or charge phase, you can reroll advance or charge rolls made for that unit. And if they become empowered in the shooting or fight phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. Okay. So expend 1 or more pain tokens. Each time you do that, 1 unit from your army gets empowered depending on what phase it is at. Okay, so that gives you options. You have different ways to play around with that and make that work. That's cool. I like that. It'll depend on what the detachment rule is for how well that's going to work. But it's got some cool effects to it. It could work out really well. Rerolling just the hit roll is not super great. The wound roll might have made more sense to me for the Drukhari, but advanced or charge rolls, that's pretty good. Real Space Raiders. 3 factions, of course, yeah, are always fighting for each other. Covens, Cults, and Homunculus? Witches? I don't remember. Wishes would be Covens, yeah. At the start of the battle, you gain an additional pain token for each of the following your army contains. 1 or more Archons, 1 or more Succubus, 1 or more Homunculus. So you get more pain tokens if you have more of each of the 3 working together, which is cool. It's going to unfortunately punish people that only have 1 of the 3, but I think it goes more towards what I've seen Drukhari players talk about before about what they want, which is for all 3 to be a part of the army and not just like the Raiders to be the big thing. That's cool. We get Venoms for our first one here for the unit spotlight. Okay, model's twin splinter rifle can be replaced with a splinter cannon. Okay. I also like how on the backside you get the little blurb about the model. That's really cool. 1 Venom per unit. Splinter cannon, twin splinter, blade veins. It's a transport. 6 Drukhari infantry models. Cannot transport grotesques or models that can fly. For the battle, at the start of the declare battle formation step, you can select 1 Cabalite Warriors or Witches unit from your army. You do that unit split into 2 units, each containing as equal a number of models as possible. Make note of which models from each of the 2 new units, okay? One of these units must start the battle embarked within this transport. The other can start the battle embarked within another transport or can be deployed separate. You could split them up for the sake of being able to load them up in a Venom. Would that then give you more? Oh, it's for models! I just saw that it was for models, not units. Okay. I mean, theoretically, you're not going to have... You get a lot of pain tokens. Okay. All right. Okay. See, this one doesn't have any of those code words, unfortunately. Keywords. But, okay. That'll give you some options then. Then we have 14-inch move, as you would expect. It's really interesting to me they chose the Venom and not the I don't know what this one's called, but like the raider that I always see people run. I can never remember the name. But 6 toughness, 4 up saves, 6 wounds, splinter cannons, anti-infantry 3 ups, and sustained hits. Pretty nice stat line. Twin splinter rifle, anti-infantry 3 up, assault, rapid fire 1, and twin linked. Very strong. And the blade veins, you know, they're okay. Strength 5, not bad. Deadly demise 1, deep strike, firing deck 6, stealth, power from pain. I don't think we know what firing deck does yet, unless it's mentioned anywhere here. It doesn't look like it. Athletic aerialists. At the end of the fight phase, if there are no models currently embarked within the transport, select one friendly Drukhari infantry unit that has 6 or fewer models that's wholly within 6 inches of the transport, not grotesque or anything can fly, unless that unit's within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units and can embark. Okay, sure. At the end of the fight phase, you can auto embark. That's cool. All right, Cabalite warriors, of course, they have none of the keywords either, so it is going to have to be specifically like homunculus, succubuses, and archons. I was just checking. You know, I figured, but I was just checking. So, 1 wound, 8-inch move, pretty solid. They got a lot of different options for weapons. Blast pistols, blasters, dark lances, shredders, splinter cannons, splinter pistols, and splinter rifles. The dark lance is my favorite personally. 36-inch range, single attack, hitting on 4 ups, but 12 strength, minus 3 AP, d6 plus 2 for the damage on the dark lance. The blaster is also very good. 18 inches, single attack, minus AP 4 and d6 plus 1. And they have the Symarite weapon or the close combat weapon. Those are really solid. Sadistic Raiders, if you control an objective marker at the end of your command phase, and this unit or any transport that's embarked within is within range of that objective marker, objective marker remains under your control even if you have no models within range of it until your opponent controls it. Okay, so sticky objectives, makes sense. And then they have the Phantasmal Grenade Launcher, and the Bearers unit has the grenades. Okay, all right, that's pretty solid. So indirect fire, a lot you could do with that. The Shredder, of course, a torrent weapon. So I mean, they're looking good, right? Lots of options, lots of different ways to hurt people, as you would expect from Cabalite warriors. A 6-up invuln. Twin Drukhari Haywire Blaster, anti-vehicle 4-up, devastating wounds, twin linked. 24-inch range, 2 attacks, BS 4, strength 3, AP minus 1, D3. So hitting on 4-ups, not bad at all, and it's anti-vehicle on 4-ups as well. Then you have Lilith's Blades, anti-infantry 2-up, sustained hits 2, 8 attacks, exploding. Ooh, she's gonna be hitting really hard. 2-ups, 3 strength, AP minus 2, D1. That's pretty solid. Yeah, to 12 and increase your envelope save to 3 with Thrilling Spectacle. Okay. Once per battle, that's pretty good. Then we have our stratagem, Alliance of Agony. At the start of any phase, 1 Archon, 1 Succubus, and 1 Homunculus from your army, and discard 1 pain token from your pain token pool. At the end of the phase, all 3 of them are empowered. Well then, you can only use the stratagem if you're able to select all 3 of the target models stated above. You can't use it if any one of them has been killed. But that's pretty cool, honestly. Again, I don't know all that much about Drukhari rules in 9th. I've never played against Drukhari. But that's pretty cool. They're looking pretty solid. I'm interested. And I already have some of the models, so, you know, I'm interested. That's all I'm saying. They recommend Path of Dark Eldar, Pain Engine, and Turn of the Adder. Okay. And then next up is Genstealer Cults. So let's take a look at them. Yeah. Heralds of the Star Children. I'm assuming it's still going to be very Deep Strike heavy. That's a big thing for Genstealer Cults. Deep Strike basically your whole army in 9th. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be, but I don't know that. Broodlord. And, okay. So, faction rules. Art, as always, is really great. Cult Ambush. If your army faction Genstealer Cults, each time a unit with this ability is destroyed, roll a d6, adding 3 to the result if it's a battle line unit. 4-up, that unit is placed in a Cult Ambush. You can place 1 Cult Ambush marker anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 9 inches horizontally away from all the units. Not possible, you can't place it. That's each time a unit with this ability is destroyed. If an enemy model, excluding aircraft models, is any kind of move within 9 inches of a Cult Ambush marker you placed, that Cult Ambush marker is removed from the battlefield, At the end of the reinforcement step of your opponent's next movement phase, for each of your cult ambush markers that is still on the battlefield, you can select one unit from your army that's in cult ambush and set that destroyed unit back up on the battlefield using Deep Strike, containing all of its models with their full wounds remaining, and with at least one of those models touching that cult ambush marker. Markers then removed from the battlefield. Characters that are attached to a unit with this ability are not returned alongside that unit should it return to the battlefield. Makes sense. Only the bodyguard unit returns. Okay, let me make sure I get this straight. I'm up against you, and you have Genestealer Cults. I take out 4 units in one turn. I'm having a great turn. My Blood Angels are getting in there. My Death Company just wrecked you. My Death Company Dread is over there just cleaning up. But I don't take out any of the markers. At the end of my reinforcement step of my movement phase, 4 units come back with full wounds. That's going to be really strong against elite armies, too, that don't have a lot of bodies to put on the battlefield to be able to go stop reinforcements. That's really good, man. Oh, that's really good. You also get the Ascension Day detachment rule. Okay. They came from below. For generations, and insidious threats lay within the shadows. I'm like so shocked I'm getting sleepy. Each time a Genestealer Cult unit from your army is set up on the battlefield as reinforcements till the end of your next fight phase, weapons equipped by the models in that unit have the sustained hits, one, and ignore cover abilities. Exploding 6s and they ignore cover. That's army rule, detachment rule, but we got more! You can still include Astra Militarum units in your army as Brood Brothers. Awesome. Awesome. Brood Brothers, if your army faction Genestealer Cults, you can include Astra Militarum units in your army, even though they do not have the Genestealer Cults faction keyword. The combined points cost of Astra Militarum units you can include in your army depends on your battle size. 250, 500, 750. Makes sense. They can't be your warlord. They cannot be given any enhancements. You cannot include units with any of the following. You can't have Ogrins, Ratlings, Scions, Commissars, Preachers, Engineers, Unitorum, Servitors, or Aircraft. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Can't bring Leontes, but you could bring Lehman Russ, Field Ordnance Batteries, Deep Strikes, all that fun stuff. Alright, so let's see. Neophyte Hybrids, they can come back from the dead. So they're probably not as strong as they would be otherwise, right? Because they can come back. They're probably still pretty good. Let's just move T3, wounds 1. They're only saving on 5-ups. The auto pistol, the hybrid firearm, the leader pistol are all fine. Hit on 4-ups, right? The flamer's very good. As all flamers, it ignores cover, but it's got a short range. Grenade launcher frag with blast and crack. D3 attacks, D3 damage on the crack grenade. That's very solid. The heavy stubber for rapid fire 3. It's pretty dang good. 36-inch range, rapid fire 3. The mining laser with heavy is, as always, an incredible weapon. It's only hit on 5-ups, only has 1 attack, but 12 strength, minus 3 AP, D6 plus 1 damage. Seismic cannon's really good. Heavy and rapid fire 2. Weber's pretty good. Devastating wounds and also as a torrent. But then we have the chainsword, power weapon, and the close combat weapon, all of which are pretty solid. Again, they're not hitting on the best of stat lines, but they're still doing pretty solid. Plan generations in the making. At the start of your command phase, roll 1d6 for each objective marker you control. That is 1 or more units from your army. With this ability within range of it, 1 or more of the results is 4-up. You gain a CP. Okay. And then they have the cult icon in the reinforcement step of your movement phase. You can return up to 3 destroyed models to the Bears unit. Bears units within range of objective marker you control. D3 plus 3 destroyed models. Wow, okay. Reanimation protocols. You don't get it every turn, but you get it. I mean, you do get it every turn, but only if the cult, you keep him alive. Man, Genestealer Cults are really strong. And then, of course, we get the Patriarch, the Broodlord. 8-inch move, 5 toughness, 4-up save, 6 wounds. So, kind of weak compared to a lot of the other characters that we've seen, but I'm sure he's going to balance it out. Devastating wounds on the claws with twin linked. Okay. 5 attacks. You can't take more than one of him though, right? So Twin Link wouldn't matter. If I misunderstand how Twin Link works, I thought it was one unit that could see a target and then another unit that couldn't see the target could still attack, even though because they're Twin Linked. Maybe you can Twin Link with other units on the battlefield. Maybe it doesn't have to be another of the exact same model. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But that's interesting. 5 attacks, 2 ups, 6 strength, minus 2 AP, D2. Might from beyond. While this model's leading a unit, melee weapons equipped by the unit have devastating wounds. Okay, yeah. Put that with some abominants, and there you go. Cosmic Horror Psychic. At the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit within 6 of this model must take a battle shock test. Makes sense. Psychic Familiar. That's one thing that I wish we'd seen more of with the Drukhari. It's like stuff that forces battle shock tests. I'm assuming there's more of that in their kit, but we don't really get to see much of that with the 2 things they showed off. Psychic Familiar. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can use Psychic Familiar. Does till the end of the phase double the range of its Cosmic Horror ability. Okay. All right. And then place Psychic Familiar token next to the model, removing it once. Yeah, makes sense. 4 up Invold. Very strong. Very solid. Demolition Charge. I actually thought we'd see. Oh, okay. The Sledgehammer's coming. Okay. Demolition Charges. Very nice. 6-inch range. G6 plus 3 attacks. 2 ups. 12 strength. Minus 2 AP. 2 damage per hit. Weapon ability. 1 shot. The bearer can only shoot with this weapon once per battle. And the remote explosives version of it is Blast Indirect Fire. 24-inch range. D6 plus 3. 3 ups. So 1 shot is for the demolition charge. Remote explosives, though, 3 ups, 5 strength, 0 AP, D1. Pretty great. Then we have the Power Sledgehammer, 3 attacks, 3 ups, 12 strength, minus 2 AP, D6 plus 1. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That's the Power Sledgehammer. It's very strong, just like I thought it would be. Nice. Very nice. And then their CP. Their stratagem is Coordinated Trap. For 2 CP, the start of your shooting phase or the start of the fight phase. Interesting. 2 Genstealer Cult units from your army that have not been selected to shoot or fight this phase, and 1 enemy unit. Till the end of the phase, each time a model on either of your units makes an attack, it can only target that enemy unit, only if it's eligible for the attack, and when resolving that attack, add 1 to the wound roll. So they can work together, but they can't attack anybody else. Then we also have Tunnel Crawlers. On your movement phase, 1 Cults unit from your army that's arriving using the Deep Strike ability. Your unit can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 3 inches horizontally away from all enemy units. And a unit targeted by the stratagem is not eligible to declare a charge. You can specifically pull it up way closer, can't charge. That's cool. This art looks great. Tearing apart the Castellans. Yeah, okay. Cult of the Spiral Dawn and Day of Ascension. I've heard Day of Ascension is incredible. Check that out. Deathwatch Ignition. Okay, so what is our next one going to be? I think this is going to be, the next one's going to be the Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Black Templars. It's going to be that one, right? Deathwatch. It's going to be all that in one big deal, right? Imperial Agents. Is Inquisition going to get to be its own thing? We'll see. Imperial Agents. Did not expect this to be the way they would go. Really excited for what I'm about to see. Looks like theoretically you could run a full Inquisition team, maybe? Well, let's see what we get here. I really don't know what to expect. The Hands of the Emperor. You have all the different assassins here. Man, these guys are also have unbuilt and waiting to be built assassin. So I need to do that. I need to do that for the Officio Assassinorum. So, Inquisition, indeed. Yeah. Stratum, Navy. Very cool. Imperial Agents aren't designed to operate as a faction in their own right. Okay. I got all excited. That's a little unfortunate. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, here we go. Imperial Agents is their own thing. Inquisition army. Not quite. Instead, their units get to hang out with other Imperial armies where their diverse skills can help mitigate. Okay. It makes sense. A little disappointing since it I guess it's on me for seeing that and being like, ooh, but, you know, it's fine. Our BDs underneath the knights or assassins along with your Cadian gun line. Here you go. So here we have, of course, the box they're trying to push right now. which is the combat patrol for Star Striders, Exaction Squad, and Imperial Navy Breachers. All three really fun kill teams. I say that. I haven't played Exaction Squad yet. I've been hearing some rough things about them. But I like the Breachers a lot. They're cool. Mostly because they have shotguns. Love shotguns. So the army rule is gonna, I figured it's gonna work the way the others do. If your army has the Imperium keyword, you can include Agents of the Imperium. So same here, but it really interesting how this works. If it's a 500-point game, you get 1 retinue, 1 character. If it's a 1,000-point game, you get 2. So let's look this compared to Genestealer Cults, right? Which we should still be on. Yeah, we go back up to the way they work with the Brood Brothers. Yeah, so it's the same way there. Strike Force, Onslaught. So you stop at 750. Even if you go higher, you still stop at 750. So here it would be 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Cannot select a Vindicare Assassin. Kilexus Assassin, Eversor Assassin, or a Calidus Assassin to be your warlord. That would be cool, though. Okay, so let's look at these. Looking squarely at data sheets. All right. The Vindicare Assassin. I am glad that I have kept this guy waiting and just prepared to be built now because I can run him with my... Will I be able to run him? Oh, let's see, actually, while we're checking these. Can you run Inquisition with Space Marines? They don't have... Imperium. Okay. Theoretically, you would be able to bring... There was another data sheet shown off for... Is this the one for this? Or is this the sale page? It's been weeks, this sale page. It's been weeks since we saw those other ones. Let's see. Terminator. Imperium. Okay, so I can take a Vindicare Assassin with my Blood Angels. Well, this is about to get exciting. 7-inch move. T4, not too bad. They've got Lone Operative as well. Or do they? It says Lone Operative up here, but he doesn't have it on his sheet. Yeah, he does. I'm just blind. Very cool. Okay. 6-up save, 4 wounds. This guy's pretty tough. 6-up leadership. OC is only 1. You probably don't want to have him on an objective. You probably want him sniping. The Exodus pistol, only 12-inch range. Devastating wounds, ignores cover, pistol, precision. 3 attacks, 2 ups, 5 strength, -2 AP D3. The Exodus rifle is devastating wounds, ignores cover, heavy, precision, 48-inch range, single attack, 2-up wound or 2-up BS ballistic skill, 7 strength, -3 AP D3 plus 3 damage. That's really good. That's a Vindicare Assassin trying to make sure the Blood Angels succeed. Way above, just that's really strong. Then, of course, they have the Vindicare Combat Knife. If you get in melee with your Vindicare Assassin, something has gone wrong. But 4 attacks, 2 ups, 4 strength, -1 AP D1. Assigned agents, of course, yeah. Deadshot. Each time this model makes a ranged attack, if a crit is scored, add 3 to the damage characteristic of that attack. After this model is resolved its ranged attacks, select 1 enemy unit that was hit by 1 or more of these attacks. That unit must take a battle shock test. Ooh. And Shield Breaker. Once per battle, when selecting targets for this model's Exodus rifle, you can fire a Shield Breaker round. If it does till the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack with that weapon, no saving throws of any kind can be made against that attack. So once per battle, you get a free shot. Just bam. Hope you hit with it. CP reroll that hit because they can't save from it. And they get a 4-up invul. That's really strong. Now, it is a character, but it can't be a warlord. You theoretically wouldn't want to bring him with some list, but ooh, hoo, hoo, and he's got smoke. It's good stuff. Now, he does only save on a 6-up, so it's not like he's got super armor, but he's got smoke, so that becomes a 5-up in most situations, unless they're within 12 inches. So, that's very strong. We also get an Inquisitor. So I can take Eisenhorn with my my Blood Angels. 6-inch move T3 as compared to T4. 4-up saves though, so a little bit easier to save with. 4 wounds, 6-up leadership. I feel like an Inquisitor should have a little bit more leadership for stat, but leadership works differently anyway, so it's probably fine. Bolt pistol, 12-inch range, that's solid. Combi weapon, anti-infantry 4-up, devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. So double the shots in 12 inches. Pretty solid. And the psychic shockwave, devastating wounds, psychic torrent. So auto hitting, 2d6, 18-inch range. That's pretty good. Barely do 1 damage, but AP -1, that's pretty solid. And he can carry grenades. Inquisitorial melee weapon and a force weapon for psychic. Pretty nice. Authority of the Inquisition. While this model is leading a unit, it can embark within any transport that its bodyguard unit can embark with, of course. And the power of the Rosette, as you would expect. Each time you target this model's unit with a stratagem, roll 1d6 on a 3-up, you gain a CP back. Very handy. War gear abilities, Blessed Wardings. While this model's leading a unit, models in that unit have the Feel No Pain 5-up ability against mortal wounds. Okay, Feel No Pain 5-ups. Very solid. All the unit has that, and of course Psychic Gifts, he's got Psyker 5-up invuln. Pretty good. And then we got the Breachers. They can bring a Sergeant at Arms Navis shotgun, but instead they can bring an auto pistol and chainsword, or a bolt pistol and a power weapon. The last volley can be replaced with a melting gun or a plasma gun. The shotgun, for one of them, auto pistol power weapon, one of them auto pistol chain fist, and then one of them can be equipped with demolition charges and a grenade belt. Very nice. 1 Navis Sergeant at Arms, 9 Navis Armsmen. 1 Armsman is equipped with the Navis One Navis Armsman is equipped with the Navis Las Volley, close combat weapon. 1 other Navis Armsman is equipped with Navis Heavy Shotgun, close combat weapon, Endurance Shield. That guy looks super cool too. And then of course the Navis Shotgun and close combat weapon. So this is a breaching team. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. The target of that attack is an enemy unit within range of the objective marker. You can reroll the wound roll instead. Okay, nice. So it doesn't have to be a 1 then. The shield gives a 4-up invuln for the guy that has it. I assume not for the whole unit, I would think, but it could be. And the grenade belt bearer has the smoke keyword. Each time you select the bearer's unit as the target of the grenade stratagem, roll 1 additional d6 when resolving that stratagem. So that's probably going to come up in a minute. Then weapon-wise, I knew we'd have a bunch here. Auto pistol, solid. Bolt pistol, solid. Almost exactly the same, but one has slightly more strength than the other because it's a bolt pistol. Then we have the demolition charge. Assault blast, hazardous 1-shot. So only get to use it once. 6-inch range, d6 plus 3, 4-up, strength 12, -2 AP, d2. That's pretty good. Hazardous means it can hurt them too, though. The melta gun, of course, has melta 2 and is incredible, as all melta guns are. The Navis Heavy Shotgun is really punchy. 4-up with 4 shots, 4 strength, 0 AP, but 1 damage per shot. The last volley is pretty good with 4 attacks, 4-up, 6 strength, no AP, but 1 damage. Regular Navis Shotgun is instead only 2 attacks, but otherwise basically the same, functionally the same. And then, of course, you have a Plasma Gun. If you supercharge it, you have the Hazardous. So, did that used to be called Overcharge, or am I just crazy? But very solid. And then for melee weapons, you have the Chain Fist, which is anti-vehicle 3-up. Very nice. Chain Sword, close combat weapon, and power weapon, which are all pretty solid. They're pretty nice here. Pretty nice. Next up here, they shout out Eisenhorn, Kotyaz, Braxis, Karamazov, and of course, Greyfax. So, let's check out Greyfax. Greyfax is really cool. That is my wife's Greyfax, so she can bring Greyfax with her sisters, which is really cool. 6-inch move, T3, 3-up saves, 4 wounds, 4-up leadership, castigation, which is, it's really interesting. These have so many keywords that they take up double the space. Anti-character 4-up, devastating wounds, precision, and psychic. 18-inch range, 1 attack, 3 ups, 8 strength, -2 AP, D3. Now this is a leader. This is one you would take as a leader as compared to the Vindicare, who's a lone operative. So is the regular Inquisitor. But Greyfax doing a lot of damage with that. And then Condemner Stake, Anti-Psychic 2-up, Devastating Wounds, Precision, Rapid Fire 1, twice as many shots in half range. Double attacks at 12 inch instead of just 1. 3 ups for the Ballistic skill. 4 strength, 0 AP D1, very strong. Mastercraft Powered Sword, of course. 4 attacks, 3 ups, 4 strength, minus 2 AP D2. Authority of the Inquisition, which is exactly as before. While it's leading a unit, it can embark with any transport the bodyguard unit can embark within. The Psyoculum, while this model's leading a unit, ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit have the Anti-Psyker 4-up ability. That's really good. And then no escape. Each time an enemy unit, excluding monster or vehicle units that's within engagement range of 1 or more units with this ability, is selected fall back. Models in that enemy unit must take desperate escape tests as if their unit was battle shocked. While doing so, if that enemy unit is also battle shocked by other means, subtract 1 from each of those desperate escape tests. Very cool. Greyfax just goes, no, you're not leaving. Try it. That's cool. 5-up invulns. I like that a lot. Her sheet looks really and the Star Strider sheet look really cool. So, a diverse range of specialists, assassins, inquisitors, rogue traders, adeptus arbites. Makes sense. Well, you could field an entire army. They've been designed first and foremost as allies for an Imperial army. So, theoretically, you can still play them in combat patrol, though, right? Abilities, skills. Because if we go back up to the top here, this is for the sizes. You can only bring 1 of each. I guess we'll see if Combat Patrol has like separate rules for them. Very cool. Iron Sight, Assassinorum Iron Sight, Divine Sanction, and Assassinorum Execution Force. I will also strongly recommend the Eisenhorn trilogy. I don't want to read what it is yet. I want to guess. Xenos, Malleus, and I don't remember what the last one's called. Ordos? Because it's the orders. So Xenos, Ordo Malleus, Ordo... Won't be as Minister. I don't remember. Somebody in the comments will tell me and be very upset that I forgot. But Assassinorum Kingmaker as well. So what's tomorrow's going to be? We got 2 more days left in the week. And then it's June tomorrow. So I'm going to say tomorrow's is either Dark Mechanicum, which I'm still leaning on, or it is the Divergent Space Marine chapters. Let's see what we got here. 5 Space Marines. Okay, so it's Divergent. So it's 5. So it's going to be, and then the Titans. Warhammer 40k Shake the Earth. Okay, so instead of, we're not going to get Dark Mechanicum then. Instead, we're going to get rules for the big Titans. Hopefully, like, per faction. And it's just like, here's 1 for each, but I doubt it. It's probably going to be like, hey, here's Titanicus rules. So 5. So we're getting Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Black Templars, Dark Angels, Deathwatch? Maybe. We'll see. But we'll find out tomorrow. We are almost done with the previews, but today we're talking about my boys, the Angels of Death, the Blood Angels. Of course, also Dark Angels. Deathwatch, I was right on that one. Okay. Black Templars and Space Wolves, but the Blood Angels, the one I'm most interested in. Board. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Blade Guard. Dark Angel's looking good too, you know, and they're up against Eldar, but just, be expedite Eldar. It's not in here. We'll see. Though their methods of warfare may differ, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Black Templars, Deathwatch all draw from the same. Yeah, of course, the Oath of Moment army rule. So they do still have Oath of Moment. Pull that back up. We might get a spoiler for who the new one is. Should be able to barely grab. I'll have Oath of Moment. Start of your command phase, select one of your opponent's army, 1 unit. At the start of your next command phase, each time a model from your army with this ability makes an attack, targets the enemy unit, you roll the hit roll, and you can reroll the wound roll. So they all get those, which is great. But each chapter is instead represented as an attachment with its own rule. Okay, so we're starting with Dark Angels. Any Space Marine army can choose to use these detachments should they fit. They abide by their restrictions. No matter how much you love librarians, you will be taking Psychers and Righteous Crusaders. So that'd be Black Templars, of course. Different champions, so non-Space Wolf characters named. Yeah. Right, exactly. Champions of Rest Detention can't use non-Space Wolves, HQs, or Deathwing Terminators if they're named for these. Starting off with Dark Angels. It says the Dark Angels don't focus. I thought that was saying something very different. I thought that was saying the Dark Angels do not play around, man. So Grim Resolve, the Unforgiven Task Force. While an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is battle shocked, change the objective control characteristic models of that unit to 1 instead of 0. So if they fail the battle shock test, they still have an OC of 1. That's pretty good, and that's, I mean, you know, the Dark Angels, they don't accept the Fallen. Although, you know, the Lion might, which doesn't spoil anything for people. But, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for them. I think that's really good. That's really cool and fluffy and awesome. Then we get a Deathwing Command Squad, which is a Deathwing Ancient, a Deathwing Apothecary, a Deathwing Champion, and 2 to 7 Deathwing Command Terminators. I don't know a lot about Deathwing and the Dark Angels at all, really. Most of what I've learned has been very recently, with Lionel Johnson coming back and everything. Stormbolter and Power Fist replaced with Twin Lightning Claws, Thunderhammer, and a Storm Shield. Okay, alright. Chain Fist as well, which we know is anti-vehicle. And then an Assault Cannon, Heavy Flame, Plasma Cannon, Stormbolter, and 1 Cyclone Missile Launcher. Okay, alright. It can be equipped with 1 Watcher in the Dark. Ooh, and that'll be in the Deathwing Knights data sheet. Okay. And they can, of course, attach with a leader. We have 5 move, T5, 2 up saves, 3 wounds. Ooh. Deathwing Command Squad's pretty tanky. I mean, it should be. They're in Terminator armor, but still. Ooh. Assault Cannon with Devastating Wounds, 24, 6, 3 up, 6, 0, 1. Pretty good. Cyclone Missile Launcher has Frag with Blast and Crack, of course. 6 attacks, -2 AP, strength 9. Pretty good. Heavy Flamer ignores cover and Torrent, of course, so, you know, auto hits, but -1 AP, D1, not bad at all. D6 attacks. Plasma Cannon has the usual stuff. Hazardous on the Supercharge. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Stormbolter Rapid Fire 2s, all right. But to be honest, I just want to get to the Blood Angels, but I'm being good. We're talking about it. We're looking at it. The Chain Fist is great, as you would expect it to be. -2 AP, D2, strength 8 with 3 attacks, 4 ups. Anti-vehicle 3 up. Halberd of Caliban is precision, 5 attacks, 3 ups, 6 strength, -2 AP, D2. Thunderhammer. Oh, I've been looking forward to a Thunderhammer on a data sheet. Devastating Wounds, 3 attacks, 4 ups, 8 strength, -2 AP, D2. Now again, they've got Thunderhammer specifically, like this unit's Thunderhammer might have different stats than a different unit's Thunderhammer, which is how they're balancing it. But still, that's a good looking Thunderhammer. I like that. Twin Lightning Calls are twin linked. So pretty nice. Narthecium. While your unit contains an apothecary in your command phase, you can return 1 destroyed model to this unit. Ooh, it doesn't work on characters, of course, but that's pretty good. Astartes Banner. While this unit contains an ancient, add 1 to the OC characteristics, as you should. And then Honor or Death. While this unit contains a company champion, add 1 to the advance and charge rolls made for this unit. You can target this unit with a heroic intervention stratagem for 0 CP. There's a lot of stuff that lets you target units for 0 CP, and I really like it. I'm really excited by it. A bear has a wounds characteristic 4 and 4 up. So wounds 4 with the Storm Shield and then 4 up involved. Very, very nice. And then, of course, we get to see the lion. We got a nice little scroll bar here, so we got a good little ways to go, but we can see the lion. 8-inch move, T9, 2 up saves, 10 wounds, 5 up leadership, and 4 OC. Very nice. Very nice. I'm not seeing... Okay, monster is a keyword. Of course he is. Lionel Johnson. I don't see leader on here. So he can't be... Okay, but he can be... He can get a bodyguard unit. He has lone operative when he's within 3. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Arma Luminous... Bolt and Plasma variants, both very strong. The Plasma variant is strength 8. The Bolt pistol gets 4 attacks, so that's pretty good. And then Fealty, of course, Strike Sweep. Lethal hits for the strike. Sustain hits 1 for the sweep. 8 attacks for the strike, 16 attacks for the sweep, D4 for the strike, D2 for the sweep, -4 for the strike, -3 for the sweep, 12 strength for the strike, 6 strength for the sweep. Of course, and both hit on 2-ups. Very, very nice. Then we have Primarch of the First Legion. In your command phase, select one Primarch of the First Legion abilities, just like Gilliman. Until the start of your next command phase, this model has that ability. Once per turn, for all secrets revealed, when your opponent targets a unit from their army with a stratagem, but before that stratagem is fixed or resolved, the units within 12 of this model, you gain 1 CP. That enemy unit must take a Battle Shock test. If this is failed, in addition to that unit being Battle Shocked, stratagem's effects are not resolved. Stratagem still counts as having been used. Okay, hold on. So they use a stratagem before the effects are resolved. If they're within 12, you gain a CP, and they must take a Battle Shock test. If they fail it, not only are they Battle Shocked, the stratagem doesn't go off. All right, Lion. Okay, that's pretty dang good. Martial Exemplar is an aura, 6 inches. Each time a model on that unit makes a melee attack, add 1 to the hit. And then no hiding from the Watchers. While a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6, models in that unit feel no pain 4-up against mortal wound. Good. He's also got the Emperor's Shield. Each time an attack targets this model, subtract 1 from the wound roll. In addition, each time a melee attack is allocated to this model on an unmodified saving throw of 6, the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound after it's finished making its attacks. Lion's looking strong. And then, of course, he has the Bodyguard. Okay. All right. And he fights first. That's pretty dang good. Next up, we have the Wolves. And, of course, they're fighting T-Sons, as they would be. Wolves, indeed. He's worthy of Saga. At the end of the battle round, you can select one of the sagas listed below. Saga was completed by your army during the battle round. All Adeptus Astartes models from your army gain the associated benefit at the end of the battle. Only select each saga once per battle. So it's kind of like the Knight's Honor, where they choose one deed and they complete that deed and they get a buff. But you can choose a different one each turn, and you can only choose each one once per battle. Saga of the Warrior Born. And it makes a lot of sense with like them being like space Vikings. It's really cool and fluffy. The saga is completed if one or more Adeptus Astartes characters models from your army destroyed one or more enemy character model during the battle round. So if a character fights a character and wins, once it's completed, melee weapons equipped by all models in your army, all Astartes models in your army, have sustained hits 1. Well, all right then. That's pretty good. Saga of Majesty. This saga is completed if you control one or more objective markers in your opponent's deployment zone at the end of either player's turn during the battle round, and one or more character models from your army were within range of that objective marker. Improve the objective control characteristics of all Adeptus Astartes models from your army by 1. All right. If you can take their objectives in their deployment zone and you can get your character over there, or one of your characters, then you get this for your entire army, which is pretty great. Help you grab it and hold it. Saga of the Bear. Saga is completed if one or more Adeptus Astartes characters models from your army were reduced to below half of your starting number of wounds during the battle round, but were not destroyed. And then, so it's a character that was taken below half, but was not destroyed. Models from your army have the Feel No Pain 6-ups. And Saga of the Beast Slayer. If one or more Adeptus Astartes character models from your army destroyed one or more enemy monster or vehicle models during the battle round. Melee weapons equipped by Astartes models from your army. Lethal hits. But what I like most about this is you have to choose them at the end of the battle round. Which means after you finish the battle round, if you complete any of those, you go, yep, so my guys are going to be singing about the Saga of the Warrior Born. And they're all going to get this buff for next turn. It's really cool that you can be working on any one of them, and if you complete one, go, yep, we finished the battle round. Saga of Majesty. We're doing good. That's really cool. We got the Hounds of Mordecai, which are a pretty cool unit in 9th edition. 6-inch move, T4, 3-ups, 2 wounds, 6-up leadership, OC1. Mordecai Bolt Pistol, Anti-Psyker 4-up, Devastating Wounds Pistol, and Precision. 12-inch range, single attack, 3-ups for ballistic skill, 4 strength, -1 AP, D1. And then the Mordecai Combat Knife has all of them except for pistol. It has the same. Anti-Psyker 4-up, Devastating Wounds, Precision. 4 attacks, 3-ups, 4 strength, 0 AP, D1. So not super crazy, but still really solid, right? Very nice. And I guess we don't get to see Logan here. I expected we would, or Bjorn the Fell-Handed. But we just get the Hounds of Mordecai, it seems like. Also, they have grenades and smoke and Phobos. We don't yet know what Phobos does in 10th edition, but that's great. Orc has Howl. In your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 12 of this unit. If a lieutenant in Reaver armor is leading your unit, select one enemy unit within 18 instead. The unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the result if it's a Psyker unit. That test has failed. In addition to being battle shocked, that unit is stunned until the start of your next shooting phase. All units stunned, each time a model in that unit makes a psychic attack, subtract 1 from hit roll. Okay, all right. So if there's a Psyker in there and you howl and they take that battle shock test, they lose 1 for it. Whether it's a Psyker or not, if they fail that test, they're stunned. And if they're stunned and they have a psychic attack, they subtract 1 from the hit roll. Also, they have a 4-up invuln against psychic attacks and a 6-up invuln against everything else. That's pretty cool and fits the wolves pretty well, I think. Blood Angels! Death Company, Death Company, Death Company, Death Company, Sangward, Sangard. Okay. What are we predicting here? I think we're going to see Dante, right? I think we're going to see his sheet. And I hope we get to see some Death Company sheets or some Sangard sheets. But I'm assuming that's maybe even like Playguard vets I'd take. But I'm assuming we're going to get Dante and like a Sanguinary Priest or something. Maybe a Death Company Chaplain. Let's see. Maybe even like a Predator, a Ball Predator. The Red Thirst, as it would be, right? Each time an Astartes unit from your army is selected to fight, if that unit made a charge move this turn until the end of the phase, add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. Of course, we also have the Black Rage, but this is pretty great. We're gonna be charging, and so 1 to the strength and attacks for them. So not just 1 more strength, 1 more attack as well. Ooh. Death Company Intercessors. Here we go, and we get the Black Rage too. We'll get to that. Okay, 6-inch move T4. Saves on 3 ups, 2 wounds, 6-up leadership, 1 OC. Makes sense. But remember, all these numbers, if they charge, add 1 to the strength and attacks for all of these. All of these. We're going to get to these. Let's get through the weapons first for like the range weapons, because then I want to get into the melees. Okay, so we have the Astartes Grenade Launcher, Frag, and Crack. Pretty solid. Bolt Pistol, Bolt Rifle, Hand Flamer, of course. Wonderful, amazing, great. Heavy Bolt Pistol. I'm not seeing anything here that I dislike. Some of the numbers have been tweaked a little bit, but getting 2 shots on that Bolt Rifle is pretty nice. And I think that what we're looking at here is going to be pretty solid for range. Because really, your Death Company Intercessors are a buzzsaw. You can use them at range when you have to, but you want to get them in there. You want to get them into melee. You want to be killing. So, ultimately, let's look at melee weapons. Although, Strength 7, Strength 8, pretty nice. Astartes Chainsword, 4 attacks or 5 if you charge. 3 ups, 4 or 5 if you charge. -1 AP, D1. Close combat weapon, which would be a fist or whatever, basically, for a punch or the butt of a rifle. 3 or 4. 3 ups, 4 or 5. 0, 1. Power Fist, 3 or 4. 3 ups, 8 or 9. -2, 2. Power Weapon, 4 attacks or 5. 3 ups, 5 or 6. -2, 1. And the Thunder Hammer, devastating wounds. 3 attacks or 4. 4 ups, 9 strength or 8. -2, 2. Oh boy, they're gonna be really good. I'm so happy right now. I was expecting to get disappointed here. I really was. I was expecting them to be like, look, Blood Angels were a little strong. I mean, we weren't really, because we were really strong in melee, but we get shot off the board. But that's looking pretty good, especially if you charge. You better believe I'm going to be charging. All right, Black Rage. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. While this unit is not within 12 inches of 1 or more friendly chaplain models, cannot be selected to fall back. And the objective control characteristics of models in this unit is... I love that. So, if at all times you can re-roll hit rolls, which is great. But if you don't have a chaplain near you, you can't hold an objective with them, which makes perfect sense because you shouldn't be able to. They're not thinking straight anymore. All they can see is Horus. Visions of Heresy. Once per turn, you can target this unit with the Fire Overwatch stratagem or the Heroic Intervention stratagem for 0 CP. Our Death Company boys are looking so good right now. Oh, man. Fire Overwatch or Heroic Intervention. Just, yeah, get them in there. Get them in there. They're going to heroically intervene. There are so many moments in books where a Death Company trooper, a Death Company intercessor, has, like, gotten lost in the battlefield and the chaplain's about to get attacked or somebody else is about to get attacked, and then suddenly here comes the Death Company intercessor. He just rams in there and he just intervenes. And that's so cool that they added that in there. Because, you know, all he sees is Horus. He's got to stop Horus. Got to save the Emperor. Death Company intercessors is a keyword for them too, which means there's going to be stuff, probably for the chaplain, that specifically just works on that. Okay, we're going Gabriel Seth. Interesting. That's a weird pull. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the Flesh Terrors. They're not my favorite of the Blood Angel successor chapters. It's weird, though, that they pulled him instead of, like, Mephiston or Dante, or even Ashtoreth, mostly because Gabriel Seth is now made to order, right? Like, it's not just it's made to order. That's really interesting. But maybe they want to show us the keywords. Because, like, he specifically is Chapter Master Gabriel Seth. It doesn't say... doesn't say flesh. Okay, I'm looking in the wrong spot. It doesn't say Flesh Terrors. Could you bring him with regular Blood Angels then? Okay, so it's right here. This model is from the Flesh Terrors. It is treated as a Blood Angels model, but cannot be included in an army that includes any other Blood Angels epic hero. Okay, that makes sense. That must be why they decided to show him off then, even though he's made to order now, because they wanted to show that distinction. Because there's a lot of, like, named characters in Blood Angels. But if you're running a successor chapter, you really can't get away with just bringing Dante, you know? So, that makes sense. He can be attached to assault squads, command squads, tactical squads, and vanguard vets. Nice. Okay. So, 6-inch move, T4, 3 ups, 6 wounds. Makes sense for Seth. 6 up leadership, 1 OC. He's just got the bolt pistol and the Blood Reaver. I love Seth. I think Seth is cool. I would have rather had Amit, but we don't have a model for Amit anymore. So, Seth it is. The bolt pistol's fine. You're probably not going to be using it all that much. If you're within 12 inches, you're probably charging. In which case, you get 7 attacks and 9 strength. Blood Reaver, sustain hits 1. 6 attacks, 7. 2 ups, 8 or 9 strength. Minus 2 AP, D3. Lord of Slaughter, while this model is leading a unit, that unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. You're going to be charging. You're probably not going to be using that pistol. Whirlwind of Gore, each time this model fights until that fight is resolved, add 1 to the attack characteristics of this model's Blood Reaver for every 5 enemy models within 6 inches. You charge in to a horde of like 30 boys. You get an extra attack because you charged. Then you get 6 more. So you got 13 attacks. And I know what you're thinking. Well, if you got 30 boys there, they're not all going to be within 6. That's true, but that's, you know, that's on the extreme end. You're still going to be getting a lot of attacks with Seth, and that makes a lot of sense for him. So, good old Gabriel Seth. No, he is. He's a Beyblade. And the Orc Boys, yeah, okay. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see, like, Dante or... a Death Company Dread or something like that, but you know, Seth is cool. I get it. Black Templars. I know very little about them other than that they abhor the witch. Templar vows. At the start of the first battle round, select one of the 4 Templar vows below. Be active for the units until the end of the battle. So this one you choose at the start, and you have that for the rest. Suffer not the unclean to live. Melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have lethal hits. Uphold the honor of the Emperor. Models in this unit have the Feel No Pain 6-up ability and a leadership characteristic of 5-up. Wow. Okay. All right. That's pretty good. Abhor the Witch. Destroy the Witch. Models in this unit have 4-up invuln saving against psychic attacks. And melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the anti-psychic 4-up. And accept any challenge, no matter the odds. Melee weapons equipped by models in the unit have the sustained hits 1. That's pretty dang good. Then we have the Primaris Sword Brethren. That looks like all we're getting for them. So just like Space Wolves, we're only getting 1 data sheet, fortunately. So 6 move, T4, 3 ups, 3 wounds, 6 up leadership, 1 OC. They have a combi weapon for anti-infantry 4 up, devastating wounds, rapid fire 1, 24-inch range, 1 attack, 3 ups, 4 strength, 0 AP 1. Heavy bolt pistol, 18-inch range, single attack, 3 ups, 4 -1 1. The plasma, of course, which is 7-8 here, and then the pyre pistol, which is a hand flamer basically, but special. Ignores cover pistol turret. Auto hits, D6 attacks, 4 strength, 0 AP, D1. Not bad. The big thing for him is the power weapon, right? And the Astartes Chainsword, the Mastercrafted power weapon specifically, I mean. 4 attacks, 2 ups to hit, 5 strength, -2 AP, D2. It's very good. The Thunderhammer is also really nice. Then they have the Vow Sworn Bladesman. Start of the fight phase, you can select one of the following effects to apply to melee weapons equipped by models in this unit into the phase, and 1 to the attacks, and 1 to the damage. So you get to choose that depending on your situation at the start of the fight phase. Cool. And then we have Deathwatch, which are really cool and fluffy and thematic, and I feel like kind of get forgotten far too often. So, yeah, they're not a chapter per se, but they work with the Inquisition, and because they're going to have the Imperium rule, I assume, yeah, you could bring Inquisition with them, which I think is probably going to be the coolest way to play them, if I had to guess. All right. They have detachment rule is Black Spear Task Force. Mission tactics. Start of your command phase, you can select one of the mission tactics listed below. Start of your next command phase, that tactic is active. Its effects apply to all units from your army. Each tactic can only be selected once per battle. Okay, so you get a few different to choose from. Use one at the start of each turn, and it's only good for that turn, and then it's gone. You can't use it again. Führer tactics, while the mission tactic is active, weapons equipped by Astartes units from your army have sustained hits 1. Malleus tactics, while this mission tactic is active, weapons equipped by Astartes units from your army have lethal hits. And Brigadus tactics, while this mission tactic is active, each time an Astartes unit from your army makes an attack, crit hit is scored. That attack has the precision ability. I'm a little concerned by the fact that Deathwatch only has 3 of these, when they can only use them once per battle. So you just don't use one on turn 1, right? Unless you can get in close enough, or you're up against an army that's going to be getting in close enough. I mean, it depends on what kind of range stuff you got. And they do have some cool Xenotech for Deathwatch. I assume they're going to have it here. Yeah, the long-range visual cannon, the Infernus Heavy Bolter, Xenophase Blade. But I don't know. That's weird that there's only 3 of them. Now, granted, with an Astartes Shield, they have a 4-up invuln, and they only have 2 wounds, but they might be able to get in there. They save on 3 ups. So, bolt gun, very solid. Great game, too. Frag cannon, Infernus Heavy Bolters. These are new, basically. Rapid fire D3, by the way. Ooh. Heavy sustain hits 1, ignore cover torrent. So we have 36 inches and 12 auto hits and 4 ups, 3 and D6 attacks, 5/5, -1, 2, 1. Very strong. It's a combi weapon, but I like it a lot. Choose which profile you want to use when you fire it. The long vigil ranged weapon. Anti-infantry 4-up, devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. 24-inch range. Single attack, 4 ups, 4 strength, 0 D1. That, yeah, it's got anti-infantry 4-up and devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. But I feel like it needed to do a little bit more damage, right? 1 damage per shot. I mean, these guys are your bread and butter, so theoretically you got like 2 or 3 of those in your army, but I don't know. These 2 were like the influenced by Xenotech weapons, so I just assumed that would be pretty good. Speaking of which, we have the Deathwatch Thunderhammer, special to them. Hitting on 4-up, strength 10, -2, 3. And the long visual melee weapon and Xenophase Blade with devastating wounds. 3/4, 3 ups, 5, -2, 1. I don't know, they feel a little weak to me. For Deathwatch. Like, they're going to be expensive, right? Maybe they're making them less elite. I don't know. But they felt to me like the elite of the elite before. So, death to the alien. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. The target of that attack does not have the Imperium or Chaos keywords. Reroll the hit roll instead. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. And then they have the 4-up invuln. The Adeptus Titanicus. Yeah, I figured. So that'll be the last one, right? And then we'll be done with this series. So let me know what you think there.